Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers for House of Dragon Season 2, Episode 5, The Red Dragon and the Gold. After the massive battle scenes that we got in the previous episode, this was definitely going to be a different episode as such, just so we can see where the chess pieces are going to be moved and what's going on with certain characters now this battle is over, and how our leaders are going to go forward with whatever happens in the future. First of all, we get the green team coming back from their battle. They've got the head of Rhaenys's dragon. They're displaying it to the people, and they're saying, yes, this dragon was slayed by your king. But if the vibe in the town of King's Landing is not that of joy, like people are not necessarily happy to see what's happened. Some people look at dragons as gods, and so in a way, seeing a dragon being slain, they almost feel like it's a bad omen, it's a curse. The king himself, you do find out a little bit later, and you kind of realize initially that he's in this box, also being dragged along by a horse and cart. And the king hasn't died. That is Aegon Targaryen, of course. He was obviously attacked by his brother. His brother, who wanted some payback, of course, after what happened to him in the previous episode when he was humiliated by his brother. And so Aegon Targaryen is now being healed by the maesters. And when we see his body being taken out of the box in his throne room, and the armor, which is pretty much fused into his body because of the fire, like taking parts of his skin. I mean, the king looks like he's, beyond well done. If he was a piece of meat, it's it's that Game of Thrones style of this, like squeamish when it comes to the flesh and pain and suffering and stuff like that. The king is definitely out of action. He's not dead, but he's got broken bones, he's got severe burns. He might never be the same person ever again, and I think he might be in a coma as well. Lots of maesters were working on him, but there's only so much they can do. They're not miracle men. So now there's a vacuum. We need a leader, somebody to take control whilst the king heals. And that person ends up being Aemon Targaryen. I don't think he obviously planned, of course. I don't think Alicent was too enthusiastic to let her other son be the king, thinking that he's too young. But it seems the rest of the council wanted him in there, including Kristen Cole. So now Aemon's in charge, and I guess we'll see how that pans out in upcoming episodes. I personally think he'll be a great tactician. He's a very intelligent guy as well, very devious. So he's nothing like his brother, like they're poles apart. So we'll see how things play out for Aemon now that he's pretty much the king, he's pretty much in charge. Now, regarding the blacks, it's weird in a way. Like, we got, first of all, Daemon Targaryen still at Harrenhal, and he's going through some crazy shit. I mean, at one point, he's dreaming, and he's going through some sort of some sort of hallucination of sorts, because he's talking to this woman and he's having sex with this woman, and then I believe that woman might have been his mother. But then again, we are talking Targaryen, so incest is a regular thing. But mother, that's another level. Regardless, whilst he's going through all of this hallucination, he wakes up from it, and we find that he's at a dining table with the rest of the top tier people of Harrenhal. And it's just the way those sort of scenes blended together, and him having to eat this food, this goose, this duck, and it's still bleeding and all of that. Yeah, like when it comes to like dirty sex and dirty food all mixed in together, it was very nicely done. And he's still getting fucked over mentally, or still having games played with him by Ali's Rivers, the bastard witch, so to speak. And he's happy to like play along, and it's just that their relationship is I'm not saying they have a relationship, but the interactions between the two, I'm surprised he's letting himself be fucked over like this so easily. At the same time, he doesn't want to be known as the king consort anymore. That's Damon. He considers himself to be the king. And who knows, there might be some more treachery ahead, because it could be him wanting to maybe take over from Rhaenyra, who obviously is the queen, but him being king consort makes him second in charge. And I don't think he wants to be second in charge to anybody, even his own wife. And regarding his wife, she's still trying to make bonds with other factions around Westeros. She sends her son initially to go to this one location where there's a giant bridge, a giant crossing, which is very important for factions to get back and forth between certain lands. And he does do a good job there. And Jacaerys is his name. He seems to be somebody who wants to get more action done. He wants to be more involved, and he wants to help his mother out as much as possible. I'm going to get back to him and his mother in a second. Corlys, obviously feeling devastated by what happened to him regarding his wife. He's a little bit lost now. His granddaughter tells him that, Rhaenyra wants you to be the hand of the king, her hand of the queen, her hand. And he doesn't take that privilege to heart so well, because as far as he's concerned, this is just compensation for losing his wife. I do believe he will side with the blacks, because it's the Greens that killed his wife, and obviously him having a massive naval fleet will definitely balance the scales. But he's still going through this mourning at this moment in time, but I'm sure he will end up on Team Black soon enough. Now, regarding Rhaenyra and Jacaerys, they know that there are more Targaryens out there. Their bloodline is very much diluted. They're not pure bloods like themselves, but they know they're out there. There's a whole bunch of books, and they're definitely going to look for more Targaryens to align themselves with, so that way they have a better chance at fighting the Greens, because the Green team at this moment in time are just too strong. And now Aemond is king. One of the things he's doing is basically stopping his people from leaving King's Landing. I'll be honest with you, and I apologize for this. I'm not 100% sure why, but we do focus on some poor people within King's Landing whose lives are kind of desperate at this moment in time. For instance, their daughter's very sick and there's no food to be found. People are starving, and they're just a small. We just focus on them as just an element of what's happening to the rest of the population of King's Landing. They want help, and in a way, this could be an opportunity for Rhaenyra to get to the good graces of the people of King's Landing, because if their own current king is not helping them, whether it be Aegon or Aemond, then they might want to look at Rhaenyra as an alternative. So once again, we'll see how that pans out. Fantastic episode. Doesn't need any action scenes whatsoever. The dialogue, the communication, the deliveries, their interactions, the politics. This is what makes this show so fucking fantastic. I can't get enough of it. 9 out of 10 for this particular episode. After you have an episode like last week's, and then you have an episode like this week's that doesn't do anything like the previous episode did, and goes a totally different path regarding what it offers you visually, which is no action scenes whatsoever, but still delivers the goods, you have to fucking praise it. 9 out of 10. Anyway, let me know what you think of this episode. Do you agree with my opinions and all of that? Do you like it as much as I did? I love it. This is fantastic stuff. Some good TV at this moment in time with this, and shows like Mayor of Kingstown and The Boys. I highly recommend watching these shows. They are just so fantastic. Anyway, leave a like, share, subscribe, comment below, and let me know. And don't forget, if you've already forgotten, the name's NerdTube. Remember it.